Okay. We are recording. Hello, you guys. Thank you, Carrie, for the introduction. Just a couple quick announcements. I put most of you guys on mute, and so we can do this recording and share it with everybody. Thank you guys for all joining us. If you are a guest today, could you put your name in the chat and who invited you? And we are going to have some patches to give away for all of our guests. We're going to put you in a drawing and give away some patches. So first and foremost, for anybody listening or joining us today or on the replay, thank you for taking your time. I know your time is valuable, and we just love to share with everybody what this incredible technology is doing for us. So thank you for giving us some of your time to be able to share that as well. So as Carrie said, we have been she and I have been traveling for about 6 months all over, literally from coast to coast, and we've met all sorts of incredible people all the way up into Canada, multiple times in Canada and East Coast, West Coast, everywhere. And we have met some wonderful people along the way. I've made some incredible friends. But more than that is we're sharing this technology and helping to change people's lives. So without further ado, I want to just tell you a little bit about my journey. And again, like Carrie said, she invited me to a meeting. I was having problems with my shoulder, and she said, "Hey, come to this meeting with me about stem cells." I'm like, "What?" And so she did, and she invited me, so I decided to go. 24 hours later, I went to my massage therapist, Diane Brown. I said, "You have got to do something with my shoulder. I don't have great insurance. I didn't want to go to the orthopedic. I've had multiple shoulder surgeries on my left shoulder." And I was like, "I'm not doing this again. I have to find some other kind of solution." So, and then Diane Brown invited me to the exact same meeting. So anyway, you guys have heard this story before, but I went, I listened, I heard some incredible testimonies about the technology. Christy gave her testimony about what would happen with her son. I heard Rudy and Chris also give testimony. And there were a couple other people that were sharing. I think Debbie, you may have been sharing as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but even today when we had lunch and we were sharing with a couple people, the first thing you think of is who all you want to share this with. That's what was going through my mind. It's like, my sister's a physical therapist, her husband's a doctor. I mean, like, all these different people I wanted to share this technology with, because when you find something amazing like this, you just don't want to keep your mouth closed. You just want to share it with everybody. So that's what we're doing today. So a little bit specifically about my testimony. I started the first week of November. It's almost been a year. At first 2 weeks, the main things I noticed were sleep and energy. I remember calling a mutual friend of Carrie's and I, her name's Atelka, and I said, "Do you have like this weird feeling, like energy, like cellular energy, like not like vibrating like caffeine, but like really incredible energy?" And I was just going and going and going. And sleeping better. So those are the first couple things that I noticed. It took about 3 weeks before the pain was really diminishing. It was really gradual on my shoulder. It took about 2.5 months for it to totally fix my shoulder. I can do handstands now. I can do weightlifting. I have no more problems, no more impingement whatsoever in my shoulders. Although after not really doing a lot of weightlifting for the last 6 months of traveling, I'm feeling the pain, or feeling the weightlifting, on my body for the last couple of days. But it's all good because we're patching. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go into a little bit of a presentation. Then we're going to share some of the people on the call are going to share their experiences and their testimony, and then we're going to open it up for questions. So let me do this slideshow, and feel free to put any questions you have into the chat. And again, if you're a guest here, please put who invited you and your name and who invited you as well. So first of all, our company is both a technology. I'm gonna hate my mouse here for a second. Is both a technology and a science. So LifeWave has been around for going on 20 years. The technology actually started a little bit before then. So what we are talking about here are these little patches. I don't know if you guys can see me because I'm not looking at the screen very well here. But we are talking about these little patches like this. You can actually see one on my throat here. But these patches are basically what's called phototherapy. Okay, let me explain a little bit what that means. We have light and heat and energy in our body. If you ever seen a thermography or like those night vision goggles, you'll see how we have light and energy in our body, right? That's why you can see people in the dark through those types of glasses. Well, thermography does the same thing. So basically what happens with these patches is simple technology is that, well, I shouldn't say simple, it's an incredible technology, but simply put, it is this. We have light and heat in our body. It reflects on crystals that are in this patch, okay? The patch is slippery on one side. You peel this, it's sticky off on the other side. What's in between these patches are crystals that are coated. It's a combination of amino acids, salts, sugars, and oxygen, and a variety of things. And what happens is when you put this patch up against your skin, it reflects the light back into your body and tells you and stimulates your body to act a certain way. So we're talking about X39 today, but you will also find we have other patches that will basically tell your body to do a variety of different things. Okay, so that literally is called photobiomodulation. In here are the organic crystals that basically are signaling your body to have a specific response. Okay, so basically they work like acupuncture. So my sister does dry needling, and where you basically go in and work on muscles. Probably most everybody has had some type of acupuncture done before. Basically, these are like acupatches. Okay, so you can literally put them on and feel a difference in your body that quick. Somebody just recently sent me a video about the energy patches. I don't know how everybody saw this, but the lady was doing testing on energy and putting the tan on the left and the white on the right, and the person could withhold her pressure of going backwards, and vice versa. When she flipped them, they couldn't. And so it literally can react in your body almost instantaneously. Okay, we are a FDA registered registered building, so to speak, or manufacturing site, but we don't have to be registered in the sense, because this is just called a class 1 medical device. It's like a Band-Aid. We don't have any medication going into our body. It's what's considered non-transdermal, meaning when you put it onto your skin, yes, there will be a reaction, but we're not putting any medication in your body. So if you are on any medication, this will not have any reaction or interaction with that medication, okay? And we are backed by more than 80 clinical studies. I think we're closer to 100. But what's cool about that is there's a wide variety of studies. I will just share, I probably will share it later, but one of the studies that I love, because I did go through and started researching all of these different studies, is I love the one about the heart. So they did a study on putting on X39 on people for 6 months. And they tested their heart before and they tested their heart after, and their heart reversed aging by 8 years for just 6 months of X39. So that's a pretty cool testimony just for simply putting a little white patch on your body, okay? So there's no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants in this whatsoever. And what's really cool about this technology, you guys, is it's patented. It's patented by well over 100 patents. In fact, we was just listening to an interview, and I think David said by the end of the year, he's going to be up to like 180 patents. And some of them he's getting super, super quick because the technology is so easy to prove. And so this is just phenomenal for our company, for the technology that's coming out. We all just came back from convention and just got to see also where the heart of the company is, as well as the direction that we're heading as far as in technology, as patches and all of that. Okay. So the less stem cell activity you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Why is that? So we basically, our body is made up of stem cells. When we're born, we have all these fresh, happy little stem cells in our body, and basically it's a neutral cell. That stem cell can become whatever it wants to be. But what happens is as we age, literally our stem cells diminish. The quality, the size, the healthiness, literally, of our stem cells. So as we age, we're aging because our stem cells are aging. As many people in this group will tell you, you get a cut as you age. And like the stupid little things, you guys, you get paper cuts now because your skin gets thinner, right? You bruise easier. All of those things have to do with our stem cell activity. So once we hit 25, they're starting downhill. Once you hit 60, they're really diminished. So we need all the help we can get. And I don't know about you guys, but I love the concept of reverse aging. Okay, so X39 is the world's first and only stem cell therapy that activates and regenerates our own stem cells. So literally within the first 24 hours, 3,000 to 4,000 of our gene expressions are resetting to a younger state, which is pretty cool technology. The X39 actually activates what's called a copper peptide called GHKCU. If you get a chance to look that up, do so. You see everywhere in the world of reverse aging, anti-aging, that's what people use. And so that this technology that David has, it's going to be used in all variety of products coming up. In fact, there's an eye cream coming up next year that will have that copper peptide in it as well. So here's another question for you guys. How many of you guys have ever heard of stem cell injections and all of that type of stuff? I know I've talked to so many people in the last 6 months of traveling that have had stem cell injections. In fact, I just talked to someone in Tucson on Saturday. She had it multiple times. Nothing happened. You know, it's been 2, 4, 6 months. They've had multiple and nothing has happened. It gets pretty expensive to do something like that. So when people say, well, how are you getting stem cells into your body from something like this? We're not, you guys. We are literally activating our own stem cells to get healthier. Okay. So it's affordable, ethical, and does not require any injections. Okay. Let's see if I can, whoops. Okay. So here are just some of the benefits from our patch, our X39 patch. We have, as I had said, we have lots of other patches as well. We're mainly going to focus on this one, but if you have questions at the end, we can touch base on those as well. So the big one to me is the reducing inflammation and pain. As most of you guys may be aware, inflammation is virtually the cause of every dysfunction in our body, right? They can attribute some type of inflammation to almost every disease and dysfunction that there is out there. So if you can get your inflammation under control, you can get a lot of things under control into your body. Inflammation and pain are huge. As Christy and I were talking at lunch one time, just today, there was a guest came in and Christy says, "Are you in pain?" And she says, "No." And Christy goes, "Oh my gosh, almost everybody that you talk to has some kind of pain going on in their body." And so that's one of the things about aging, which sort of, you know, sucks, but we have a solution for that. So the cool part about this is it really can help with the pain and inflammation at a very very quickly. Wound healing. I don't know about you guys, but I took up, you know, if you're starting new, take pictures. I took a fair amount of pictures. I literally have an album on my phone, LifeWave Progress, where I've taken pictures over the last, you know, month. I try to take them every month. I haven't been really good in the last couple months. But I can go back and look at those pictures and see, like, I have a scar by my belly button. I took a picture of it a year ago, and I can look at it now and I can see that scar is diminishing. It basically starts regenerating those old cells in your body to be new cells, and that's what helps diminish those scars. Okay. Skin remodeling, again, improves and reduces the scars, old and new wounds. There's probably, and not probably almost everybody that has been using X39 for any length of time has seen that difference in scars. We'll show you pictures of acne, that type of stuff. Increase energy and vitality. I think that's probably one of the first things everybody notices is the increase in energy and the sleep. You guys, oh gosh, I shouldn't touch my mouse. You guys probably know this, but sleep is huge. I mean, there's more and more studies coming out about how important it is to have good quality sleep. And so things like, you know, turning off your phone, turning off your Wi-Fi at night, turning off your, you know, not using things for blue lights, but getting that really good quality restorative sleep. X39 makes a big difference. I actually have an Aura ring that I wear here on my finger, and it tracks my sleep, and I can definitely see a difference when I started using X39. Because it breaks down REM sleep and all those other things, and I have actually seen the difference in that as well. So for me, that's well. I've never had a huge, I've never had a really bad time sleeping, but I have several brand partners and friends that have used this and have made a huge difference for them. Enhanced sports performance, provides faster recovery from exercise, especially in people over 50. Yes, X39 can do that. We also have an X49 that can add to that as well, as far as the recovery. Improves cognition and brain health. That's a big difference. Carrie knows this. I several times have thought of, I'm a financial coach. I own a financial coaching company, and I've several times thought about, do I mean to keep doing this? Because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't remember things from one meeting to the next, 1 month to the next with all my different clients. And I was really getting concerned about it last year, but I can definitely tell difference in recall and that type of thing for brain cognition and health. So I'm excited as that will continue to improve. Improves vascular health and reduces blood pressure. We talked a little bit about the medical studies on that. And again, provides age reversal for more than 3,000 to 4,000 of our gene expressions to a younger straight. Who doesn't want that? So we don't actually claim anti-aging. We like to claim age reversal. And I love that. Okay, before I go into pictures, I want to just a couple more things about this X39 patch. To me, three key important things that I want you to remember about this patch. And my encouragement to you is when you share with people, three key things. Consistency, okay? We're gonna put this patch on in the morning and we're gonna take it off at night. 12 to 15 hours, 12 on, 12 off is the easy way to remember it. I recommend getting in the habit of putting it by your toothbrush, putting it in your bathroom. I always carry some in my purse in case I forget and don't get a chance to put it on in the morning. So I always have some with me, or in case I need to share it with somebody. So put it on in the morning, take it off at night. You can take a shower with them. If they perchance come off, you go swimming or something like that, you can still put them back on there and then throw a Band-Aid over it, or a piece of medical tape or something. It's still good to use. Okay, then you can take it off at night, and if you have a pet, you can actually put them on the pet the next morning. Okay, so first things first is consistency. Using them every day, you are going to see benefits. 70% of the people feel something in the first 30 days. 30% don't. You may have to use it 2 months, maybe 3 months. But we also recommend that you use it for 1 month for every decade that you're on. So another question I get is like, well, am I going to have to use these forever? Well, I like to give this analogy. Would you stop going to the gym if you started getting some good results? So are you going to stop? No. If you start getting some good results taking some type of supplement, are you going to stop? No. So why would you stop doing this? Because you're going to continue to get benefits over time. Okay, so we want to impress upon you consistency of use. Second one is hydration. Okay, so we want to hydrate well, which is why we use the patch during the day. Okay, not that you can't use it at night, or if your schedule is off and you work nights or something like that, but we want to be able to hydrate, which is why we put it on our pet during the day and not just put it on our pet when we're done with it. So hydrate well. What does that mean? It means drink good quality water. It means filtered water, not the junk that comes out of our tap. The fluoride, the pharmaceuticals, all the rest of the junk that's in our tap water. You really want to drink a good quality filtered water. And if you can stay away from reverse osmosis, which is it's a very negative water, or acidic water. It's usually 4.5, 5, where our bodies are 7, a little over 7. Try to drink some kind of filtered, really quality filtered tap water. Okay. The third thing, and then adding electrolytes as well. If you don't want to buy a quality electrolyte mix, you can use some Celtic salt, a little bit of Celtic salt every day in your water, or or put it on your tongue when you drink some water, and that's going to open up your cells to be able to hydrate well, and that's what we need. Our body is an electrical system, and what we're doing with this patch is encouraging it, and the hydration does that as well. So again, consistency, hydration, and the last one is time. Give it some time. We talked about that, a month for every decade. Give it some time. You will find, and almost everybody that I know that are consistently using it, the longer they're on it, they will continue to see improvements. Some of the crazy ones for me, like I had numbness in the lower side of my face, a pretty good sized area, and that's been reducing over time. So it's just a little bit on my lip now. Varicose veins have gone away. Scars have diminished. Hair growth isn't improved. Again, sleep. I don't wear sunscreen anymore, and I've been more tanned in my life than I ever have. So I could literally continue a list. I literally have a list in one of my posts on my page, so I can help remember all the different improvement over time. The crazy thing is, sometimes we remember being in pain, but we don't remember when that pain is gone or when that discomfort is gone. So just being able to fill something out, we have a little health chart that sort of helps keep track of, the improvements you've had. So excited to help you do that. Okay, you guys, let's move on. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. I'm going to just show you a few. This first one on the left, it was 2 weeks later from a shoulder surgery, and you can just see how well that is healing up. It's pretty incredible. The center one was, he literally almost lost his hand. It's pretty funky looking, but 63 days later, no pain medications. You can see the lines almost blend into the lines in his hand. That's pretty incredible. And the one on the right is knee surgery. They were patching before and patching after, and you can see the incredible difference it made on their skin and the swelling and stuff around that as well. Okay. Next one down. This young man, again, he's younger, so he has a lot more stem cells than the average Joe, as you age, so to speak. But he had a snowboard accident. His parents were brand partners. They patched him up, and you can just see how much of a difference that made. It's like, oh man, I wish I was 25 and healed that fast, right? But I'm definitely healing faster than I was. And the young man up at the top right is he had a pretty bad injury. He hit himself on the counter. You can see all those patches all over him. So he's probably got some LifeWave patches on there because you can see the tan ones. And then 2 weeks later, and then again in 7 weeks, and it looks like he went in for a facelift because you can just see how smooth his skin has in the meantime, so much better he looks. Let's see, next one down is again 4 months on X39. We have lots and lots of incredible testimonial pictures, you guys. If I haven't mentioned before, we have a testimonial group called Living Healthy with Me. Have the person who invited you invite you into the group, and you can just see all sorts of testimonies. I love the group because you can search on anything. You can search on age, you can search on sciatica, you can search on diabetes, and testimonies will come up, which is phenomenal. The one on the right is basically someone struggling with acne, and you can just see how slowly over time, well, not even slowly, 3 weeks, how much of a difference that makes. And imagine if that's how quick she's healing on the outside, how incredible the healing is on the inside. Because honestly, we might not see the effects right away because our body might be healing something on the inside, but you will start seeing the effects on the outside, which is really cool. Okay. Next one is pets. I love the pet ones. So many of us have pet stories and pet testimonies, but you can secondary patch your pets. My hairstylist started patching the horse. She has a 31-year-old horse, and I gave her the patches in August before I went to Colorado, and I came back at the end of September, and she goes, "You're not going to believe this." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "That 31-year-old horse used to could barely get up if it got laying down, and it couldn't run at all. And there's a 10-year-old horse that they board together." And she said the horse is getting up all by itself constantly, up and down and running all over and keeping up with the 10-year-old horse. She said he is a happy horse. So I'm excited. So if it can do it to horses, it can help us as well. So lots of incredible stories out there. If anybody wants to see a really cool story on the power of the patches on horses, let me know and I can send you that testimony. Okay. Professional athletes, you guys, all over the world have been using these patches. And I was listening to some videos this week, and they were back in like 2002, 3, and 4 and stuff. And the stories of how the business started and how it got into the hands of the Olympic training for women's swimming, and how all of them were using it. And then the Olympic, they did so well and they were all breaking their personal bests. So David got called in and they all got blood tested and he had to explain the technology. And it was just a really cool story how it made such a dramatic impact. And so once you start noticing these patches, you'll start seeing them everywhere. You start seeing them on athletes all over the world. I remember seeing a bunch of pictures from the World Cup earlier this year where you saw a lot of the athletes wearing the patches as well, because they can see what kind of difference it makes in their body. And they, as a professional athlete, you can tell the difference in performance pretty quick. Okay. Okay. So so I'm going to show you these pictures. Carrie, do you want to unmute or do you just want me to tell the story?
I can tell the story.
Okay.
And that's just a few of the pictures that from this. So Renata and I traveled quite a bit this summer, and one of our trips was to Colorado. And we had high hopes, and we did hike a lot, but we had high hopes of hiking. What was it? Ouray,
Colorado.
Yeah. So we're getting ready to hike 6.8 miles around the town. So if you ever get there, the town is stunning. And so you hike all the mountains around it. And so we're getting started just about a half a mile in maybe. And we took a wrong turn. So we're coming back. I'm trying to keep up. I'm not the fastest hiker. And my husband was with us, and Renata's pretty fast. And they're like trucking along pretty fast. So I'm trying to book it and getting my walking sticks, because it was 6.5 miles or over that. And so And then I didn't see a rock that was there. And as you can see, what happened, I rolled, more than rolled, I tore ligaments in my ankle. And I had already done this when I was 36. So this was this was the same ankle, the same type of tear. And I thought it was going to be terrible. I mean, it was so painful. I was like writhing on the ground. Fortunately, there was a nice family there that got to see see me fall. I'm like, oh my gosh, you okay? And I'm like, my friend and my husband are way up there. Could you go get them? And so he goes running, and they get them and come running back, and they see me propped up on a table. And Renata whips out LifeWave because I didn't have my patches. Renata is very good about keeping her patches with her everywhere she goes. She's just like, we're kind of like Christy. We're like, just put them all on. But I knew I wanted LifeWave on and X39 on right there. I'd already was wearing X39 on me on the back of my neck, but I'm like, just put it on there. And literally within 10 minutes, the pain disappeared. Like, I was in so much pain. It had torn ligaments. And so I was thinking, okay, you guys go up and see the waterfall, which was only about a half a mile, maybe up the road. So I'm going to go sit in the car and wait for you guys to do that. They didn't want to leave me, mind you. I argued and said, please just go see it. I just wanted a few minutes to cry by myself because I was missing all the waterfalls. And then the pain had subsided enough that I was like, you know what, I could hike. I could do this. And so I get out my walking poles and hiking up the mountain very slowly, mind you. I mean, at a snail's pace. And Renata's in there going, are you sure about this? But Eli and Renata know that, which is my husband's name. They just like, if I have my mind set to something, I'm going to do it. And so I'm like hiking up, and we probably get about 3/4 of a mile in. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe I should put my foot up. So fortunately, there was this access road, and my husband is a runner and he's a police officer. He runs a lot. So he ran and got the car. And so this was my foot looking at it on day one. So Renata had her emergency kit. So we patched up, and she had one of those breakable ice things. So after Eli picked me up and stuff, we decided just to drive, and I had my foot propped up. And as you can see, it was pretty swollen. And I continued to patch, though, consistently through the week. And every day I had Eon on it, glutathione, and X39. Because I really didn't need LifeWave anymore because it just didn't hurt anymore. And so I consistently wore that. And you can see from day 1 to day 8, the amount of inflammation was gone. Even going to the chiropractor, I went to go make sure, like, okay, I'll go make sure it's not broken. I mean, it would have hurt if it was broken more so. But he looked at it and he's like, wow. He's like, this is more of a 3 to 6 month healing type of injury for this. And he goes, and having had previous injury to this, it should have been worse off being 14 years older in my 50s. So I was pretty excited that the chiropractor's like, yeah, you're doing whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So anyway, I am super excited because this means that in about 3 weeks, I can go head off to Cancun to go play pickleball without being afraid of hurting my ankle again. So anyway.
And you'll take all your patches with you too, right?
I am taking all my patches because it's pickleball and everyone is injured at pickleball. So I'm sure 20 some of the other ladies that I'm going with are going to be like, Carrie, can I have some patches? So, so anyway, yeah, I even stopped. We would put my foot in the river, and it was freezing water, and it felt fantastic. So, but you can see how black and blue it was, and you can see on that day 2 photo, just the swelling and the edema there was pretty intense. The swelling just from wrapping it so tight. But by day 8, by the time I got home, and it continues to look even better every day. So I was so impressed. I would have loved to have had these 15 years ago or 14 years ago when I did it the first time.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yes, so we didn't get to complete our hiking goals, but we still have a few months left before the end of the year. So we'll get there. But Carrie forever will carry her patches now with her when she goes hiking, won't she? And you know what, you guys, seriously, they will always find somebody. Can't tell you how many times Carrie and I've been hiking that we've had our patches with us, that we've patched somebody. So, you know, in one form or another, there's lots of people that need them. So I've just seen people like with knee braces on, and they're just going slow. I'm like, hey, you feeling okay? And, you know, we offer to patch them and stuff. So Okay, so Jose, would you like to unmute and share us your testimony? And then I'll also put this picture up and you can sort of explain what that picture's about.
Okay. Hello, my name's Jose. I'm down in Tucson, Arizona. I just wanted to thank you, Renata, for inviting me to share a testimony here. I was going to share some testimonies about myself, but I'm going to share a little bit about one of the guys that I work with, which is what the picture here is, which is very, very exciting on here. And then I'll share a little bit about my daughter and a little bit about me real quickly and stuff on there. This picture here, I wanted to share this with everybody because I was very, very excited. We took off to convention on the 11th of October. And I worked for this guy here in the picture. And he was going into surgery on that day, getting some surgery done on his face and stuff on there. So if you look at the picture on the left, that picture was taken on the 11th of this month here. He's been on the patches now for about 4 months and stuff. I had talked to him a little while back because he was dealing with some pains and stuff like that. And also I talked to him about the X39. So he was using the X39. And then he incorporated the LifeWave on there also too because of the pains that he was having in his back on there. So he's been on for like about 4 months on there. So he had this surgery on the 11th. Then when I got back from the convention last Thursday, he ended up sharing this picture with me. And that was on the 19th that him and I talked about it. And he shared with me this picture on the 19th last week, which was about 6 days, about 7 days after the surgery. This picture on the right-hand side was 1 week later. So it was on the 18th of October on there that he took it on there. And as you see, the scar is almost gone already and stuff. And this is just using the X39 only and stuff. He just sent me another picture just before we got onto this call to show me the progress because he was going to be on today and I was going to have him talk about it. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to be on. But the picture that he sent me right after I sent these two to Renata is his scar is just about gone. There's like one small little spot on it. And this was like just a couple days later after this and stuff. So
you'll have to send me that one and I'll put all three together for him and you. Okay.
I'll send that to you also too and stuff. So that was that part of it on there. The other part is that, I was in the military for 15 years. One of the things that I dealt with a lot was my feet. The person that introduced me to the patches and stuff, he's also a previous service member also too. And he kept telling me, Jose, you got to try these patches. You got to try these patches because he knew that I was dealing with my feet issues and stuff. I've been using the patches now for about 1.5 years. I started, so when I finally gave in and started using the patches and stuff, I felt by the end of the day, before I started using the patches, my feet would just be killing me and stuff. I started using the patches probably about a week in, 2 weeks out. The pain started subsiding and stuff and everything. And, it's what Renata was talking about, that you have to respect the patches and you have to respect your body and give it the time that it needs to do what it's supposed to do. So I just kept using them and using them and using them. Probably, I want to say about 9 to 10 months later is where my pain just basically is gone now. So I don't have no pain in my feet, but it took me time for me of using the patches and stuff to get to that point there. So now I'm still using the patches and stuff, so my feet don't hurt like they used to anymore. I don't feel no pain in my feet and stuff on there. And it's been working a whole lot better and stuff. One last testimony on this here is my daughter. She's 17 years old. This past July, we went to the East Coast to my middle daughter's wedding and stuff. And when she was excited because the last time that she flew, she was like 8 years old and she was all excited to get on a plane again. We got on a plane to go from Phoenix to Dallas and then to Virginia. Halfway through Phoenix to Dallas and stuff, she ended up getting a big old anxiety attack on a plane, a panic attack on there. I have my patches with me because I take them just like Renata does everywhere that I go. And she started having a panic attack, and I was like, oh, Junk, we're not going to be able to go ahead and complete this trip. We're going to have to rent a car and go back to Tucson again. So I ended up, I was like, hey, let me put these patches on and let's see if these will work for you. So I had an X39 and I had the Eon patch. I know we're talking about the X39 today, but the Eon patch is what we consider the peace patch and stuff on there. So I put the peace patch, the Eon patch behind her neck, and I put the X39 below her belly button on there. I'll tell you what, by the time that we got down to land the plane and stuff, she was joking around, she was laughing, and she was good to go. We were able to get on the next flight and make it to Virginia and stuff. So from there, we had to go to Connecticut and then back to Tucson, back to Phoenix and Tucson again. So every time that she got on a plane, she's like, Dad, put the patches on. So we ended up using the patches the rest of the trip and stuff, and she didn't have any issues at all the rest of the trip and stuff. So these patches have changed my life, has changed this gentleman's life in the pictures and stuff, has changed my daughter's life on there. And there's plenty of more people and stuff that you see on the testimony pages and stuff that we have on there that has changed their lives and stuff. So thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, thank you, Jose. You know, when you talk about your daughter, you know, there's nothing that hurts your heart more when it's like you feel helpless to be able to help them, you know, especially something like that. It's like, you know, it's not like you want to shove drugs. It's not like you want to call 911 or anything like that. You just like, what do you do? So it is just incredible that you thought to that you had them with you, but that you thought to put that on there. And I think now that we're learning more and more and more about these patches, even, you know, I'm almost at a year, but I still think of all these different uses, you know, to put the patch on. We patched a dog that Carrie and I were sitting, you know, house sitting, you know, or this summer. And it's just amazing whether it's a pet, you know, who's scared of lightning and storms and stuff like that, or a child. It's amazing how quick, literally at the speed of thought, that these patches can really help. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate that you are sharing with everybody down there in Tucson, and we're going to, you know, a lot more people down there to share it with. So we're hoping to help you with that soon.
There you go. All right, thanks.
Okay, so Dr. Shar, would you be willing to come on? I'm going to stop sharing here. And Dr. Shar, would you be willing to come on and share your testimony?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you ladies?
Good, thank you.
In general, sorry, Jose. And somebody else, I think, is in here, right?
I think Brian's on, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I've been using the patches for almost 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I was introduced to them by Christy, who had a fabulous result with a foot injury. And as a chiropractor, I've been a chiropractor for 38 years. And so I have always been looking for alternative methods to help heal and to improve quality of life for patients. So she told me about that, and I thought, well, that sounds great. You know, I do acupuncture. This is perfect. So I ordered it. And back in 2012, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and went through chemo, radiation, surgery, the whole deal. And what they don't tell you as you go through all that, no matter how wonderful you are during it with nutrition and everything else, there's a deep fatigue that sits right in the middle of your chest, and you cannot get rid of it. It doesn't matter what you do, how many dances you do, whether you stand on your head, it's not going anywhere. So the X39 showed up, and I put one on the back of my neck, and I thought, that's pretty cool. 3 days later, that fatigue was gone. That was it. It was just gone. And it has not come back. And to me, that was a miracle, because there was no reason that I could see for that to happen. Having tried, I can't tell you how many different things, but that patch did it. Mm-hmm. And so I started researching, and I've read through all of David's research, most of his patents, and it's just phenomenal work. And along the way, about 3 months later, a 40-year-old scar disappeared. Wow. So that's pretty cool too. So it's not, like you were saying, it's not just the outside that we're seeing. It's deep within.
It
And I
is.
use it in, in the practice, and I have many patients on it, and I have seen incredible organ responses. I have seen incredible cases where patients reduced their medications, with their MD's approval, of course. I've had a couple patients who are headed into, unfortunately, dialysis because of kidney challenges, who were it was no longer necessary to pursue that line. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I use it on, of course, my pets. And what better gauge whether something really works than to put it on an animal or a child, a baby, same thing. But anyway, so that's been my journey. And it's a blessing to so many people.
It really is. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
No side effects. Perfect.
I know.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. My sister's a physical therapist, and just like you said, she's always looking for different modalities to be able to help her clients, and she's always used different forms of light therapy. So when she started researching it, same thing. I mean, she started looking into, she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe something like this is out there, right? And she's always looked for different modalities, and whether you're using it for yourself or your clients or so on, it's so rewarding in the same way that you work with your clients and you feel rewarded when you're able to help them get out of pain or get back into function and that type of thing. The patches can do so much for those, for people as well. So thank you. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
I had 3 people literally on Monday reach out to me about their, a newly discovered cancer journey that they're going to be on, and asking me about this. And I, sort of expressed to them that, one of the do nots that we have when it comes to X39 is we do not want to use the X39 during cancer treatment, because it is, one of the things of cancer treatment is you're trying to kill cells. So we don't want to put the X39 on. It's sort of like they're gonna fight on each other. So, but in the same vein, for the people who have remaining symptoms from their journey, this can definitely help. And you have been one of the people that I've said, it's been really helped you. So I appreciate you putting your testimony there in not only here, but also in the group for people to be able to see it as well. So awesome. Thank you. Okay, you guys, we're going to open it up for questions. You're welcome to just unmute and ask any questions. Again, just a reminder, if you're a guest, go ahead and put your name and who invited you into the chat, so we can, there's a little button across the bottom that's the chat, or I think sometimes you'll find it on the side menu, and you can put it in there. So I'm just going to scroll through and see what questions. I think someone had asked what patch I had on my neck. And this is a glutathione patch right there. So, and let's see. Christy wrote, cancer treatment, eon, carnosine, and glutathione are all ones that you can use while you're going through the cancer treatment. Okay. And let's see. Any other questions?
There was somebody else who had a question, but some reason I got logged off for a second. So now all the notes.
Okay, I'm looking through them. Yeah, and again, you guys, you can go to talk to whoever invited you. We can put you into the testimonial group, Living Healthy with Me. We also have a new informational website. If someone could go ahead and put that into the chat, I think it's frequency patches info, or frequency patch info, and there's a lot of video and testimony, so you can share that with people as well.
Annette asked if there's for rheumatoid arthritis. So yes, if you want to go.
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, I will tag you in Rudy's testimony. Well, there's lots of people. You can go into the testimonial group and type that in, and it'll come up. Rudy, in fact, Chris was just at lunch with us today, and I'm going to be videotaping Rudy and Chris's testimony tomorrow. But he had rheumatoid arthritis, really bad, was on methotrexate. And I don't want to steal his thunder and third-party testimony here, but he had an incredible healing journey, and he is back to planting trees, gardening his acre at 79 years old, dancing, he's just full of energy, where he could barely even get out of a chair before. So he's had an incredible healing journey in this last year, and he's on no medication at 79. And how incredible is that? So, and my aunt, which I'll just speak from her experience, she had pretty bad arthritis as well. She noticed a difference literally within 3 weeks. She started having less pain. She actually uses and likes, because I gave them to her to try, the AccuLife. And she likes the AccuLife. She uses it. The AccuLife is supposed to be for horses, but she uses it for herself and loves it. So she's had a lot of benefits with rheumatoid arthritis as well. Again, here's the thing: we're bringing down that inflammation, and that helps reduce the pain as well. So as Jose said, X39 is our main patch. Eon is a secondary patch. Glutathione is our master antioxidant in our body that helps boost our immune system and detoxify us. And carnosine is great for heart, organ, and brain health. So all of the patches work in conjunction with X39. So we want to say X39 is our foundational patch, and everything else is icing on the cake, and just it makes it so much sweeter when you can add all those other ones and get the incredible benefits. So someone asked me this weekend, so how many patches do you wear? I'm like, I could have anywhere from 4 to 6 on at any one time. So we're patch junkies, patch enthusiasts, whatever you want to call it. But we've got a love for our patches, that's for sure. And someone also asked, does it help with food allergies like gluten? Good question. Would someone maybe more qualified to answer that question? I don't know. Dr. Shar, would you have any experience with food allergies and patches? No?
Not specifically food allergies, but seasonal allergies. They seem to do really well after they've been on it for a while. Eon, of course, and glutathione.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
Susan has her hand up.
Susan, yes, go ahead.
Hi, I got the patches and I'm using them on my 91-year-old mother. She's with me listening in. And then after she wears them and I'm dressing her for bed, I take it off and put it on myself. So what I'm hearing from you is that I should actually just save it like on plastic wrap or something, and then only wear it during the daytime.
Correct. You don't have to put it in any plastic wrap or anything, because it's sealed. Those crystals are sealed between the sticky side and the smooth side. So it's already enveloped in there. So you don't need to like put it in something. Honestly, I just put it on the counter with my sticky side up is what you can do. And then you can secondary patch yourself. Correct.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, because I want to be able to give it full strength to her, because she has a lot more issues than I do. But I wanted to also take advantage of them.
Yeah,
so it sounds like doing it during the daytime makes more sense.
Correct, it does. And we want to hydrate, so we want to put them on during the day, take them off at night, hydrate well. Honestly, I don't know about anybody else's experience, but I have had a lot of clients who are older than 60, and several in 70s and 80s. And I'm speaking from experience from my 93-year-old mom, and my dad lived till 93, is the older you are, the less you drink. And I don't know what it is, but I've had relatives in the same way. It's like water doesn't taste good or something, but like my mom used to have to line cups up to get my dad to drink. And literally that's why he passed away. He just kept getting urinary tract infections over and over and over. So as you age, you have to hydrate. And hydrate well with electrolytes like we were talking about. So I'm always pushing electrolytes on my mom. And it's not a Gatorade or any of that sort of stuff that has a bunch of junk in it. We're talking about good quality electrolytes like LMNT or Real Light from Redmond Salt, or just using some sulfate salt in your water, but that will help open up the cells to absorb the water. Chris,
good.
Carrie,
I've been giving her that too.
Awesome. Good. Carrie, did you want to add?
Well, not necessarily. Those are all great, like exactly what you were saying. Somebody had asked, I don't know who Galaxy Note 9 is. I'm not sure who that is. But any patches recommendation for young people on immune suppressed drugs like Humira for Crohn's? Dr. Shar, is there any ideas what you would do?
Boy, I don't think I would. I don't think I'd do the X39. because it's so stimulating, or at least initially, maybe just stick with the Eon
Yeah.
for a while
Glutathione.
and maybe glutathione for
Okay.
immune system.
Yeah, the glutathione is where I would go also, but
Okay.
so
Thank you,
who is
Dr.
Patch?
Shen.
If you can, who is Galaxy Note 9, and are you new here? And can you let us know who invited you so I can put your name in the wheel?
Also, somebody asked how many times can a single patch be used? Honestly, once, but there's sometimes a little bit of leftover benefit in it, which is what we call secondary patching. So that's why we do a secondary patch for our kids. But if the best benefit is you putting it on there for 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So I wouldn't say there's really, you're not using the patch for like, I had somebody one time tell me, oh, I just left it on for a week. No. You don't want to do that. Your body can become accustomed to the light therapy aspect of it, and it becomes less effective. That's why we take it on and take it off. And if you are going to leave a patch on for longer, like an Eon, if you wanted to go longer, move it. So don't leave it in the exact same spot. So like I have put an Eon on the back of my neck, and then I wanted to leave it on longer. So I take it off and put it below my belly button. It might not stick great, but my underwear would hold it in, right? So just be aware that it's recommended not to leave a patch on for too long in one spot. If you accidentally leave it on and forget it, which we all have done, wake up in the morning like, oops, I forgot my patch, just forgo patching that day and start again the next day. Okay, it's not going to kill you, it's not going to hurt you.
Well, also what could happen is I've had people like I've left it on, they left it on for over like 48 hours sometimes. And then they're like, this is really red. And I'm like, you got a heat rash is what you got. And so what can happen is your body is just working overtime in that one spot over and over again. Though there are protocols for some of the patches that we learned in Florida that, for example, carnosine, you can wear it. You wear it for 24 hours. You take it off and you put another one on slightly near the same area. And that is for severe scar reduction, right? Dexter, that's what Therese was talking about at the table at the dinner. What she was talking about some protocols, but that is something that we would get into later on once you've started patching and started using X39. And so we kind of just always want you to start with the basics of X39. And if you're dealing with pain, Eon, and then we kind of move on from there and then go to other patching and other protocols.
Can I just say something quick?
Sure.
Okay. I think we need to be really careful about talking about protocols for diseases.
Right.
We want to back off from that though, and talk about what is the body dealing with?
Okay.
Is it inflammation? Is it pain? Whatever, look at the body that way, not as far as a cardiac issue or a GI tract or something like that, because we're not treating diseases,
Correct.
we're helping the body get back into balance so it can deal appropriately with life.
Correct. Yeah.
That's it. Just a reminder.
Perfect. Thank you. Somebody asked about what patch would you recommend for somebody suffering with graft versus host disease, and I'm just not sure what that is about. Their own stem cells are fighting donor stem cells. I just don't feel qualified to answer that. But you know what? If you want, you can reach out to the person who sent you. They can help you speak to some of the doctors in one of the other groups and see if there's any thoughts on something like that. I just don't have I don't feel qualified to answer that question. So sorry, Karen. But again, reach out to the person who sent you, and they can direct us back toward Teresa's group, or Christy might have some more information on that as well. Okay, guys. Any other questions before we start wrapping up?
Did we address Annika's question about using them at night?
Oh, so where is it? I think we did.
She just said any let's see.
Any downside to using them at night? The only main thing is that we want to hydrate well. So that's what we don't use it at night. But there are several patches you do use at night. Silent Night, which is a sleep patch. Alavita, which is a good patch at night. You can use Eon well at night. But specifically X39 should be a daytime, unless you're working at night and you put it on your schedule might be different. But it's not that you can't. Again, it's just recommended based on all the medical studies that you do it during the day while you can hydrate. Okay. Okay, you guys, I would just want to, while Carrie's putting together, everybody again who was a guest, put your name and who invited you in the chat so she can do a drawing. And then one last thing, how do you get started? So a couple different ways, but one way we would recommend, you can come in as a preferred customer, or you can come in as a brand partner. Depending on what your budget allows, the silver enrollment allows you to 3-month treatment of X39, or you can mix and match a couple X39 with maybe an Eon and an LifeWave. That's what I love to recommend to my people, because it gets that you can use the one to get inflammation down, and then I always carry LifeWave, and it's like having a pain relief in my medicine cabinet, right? You never know when you're going to need LifeWave. Carrie's an example of that. So silver package is a great way to get started. It's $300 plus tax and shipping, and that allows you to get several months worth of treatment of X39. So anybody else have any last minute questions before we do the drawing?
I hope so. Hold on a second. So I just want to verify that we've got Hannah, Jennifer, Annika, Meredith, Rhonda, and Julie. So is that everybody? Did I miss anybody?
Okay.
That looks like everybody.
Awesome. We have, again, talk to the person who invited you so you can get in our testimonial group. And our next Zoom is on Monday, the 30th. That's the day before Halloween at 7 o'clock. And again, anybody who invited you can get you into that next meeting as well. I think Martha is the one who is doing that. We usually have a couple, 2 or 3 meetings in person during the month, and we have several Zooms. We're on the 2nd. We're thinking of going to every Tuesday at 5 o'clock Pacific time starting in November, but we also have some Saturday Zooms coming up as well. So you're welcome to invite your friends and family. And if you would like a copy of this recording, we can definitely do that. Okay, Carrie, do you want to do the wheel of?
Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Go for it.
And hold on, it's giving me something. I don't know what it's doing right now. How do I? Okay. Do you have that set so I can share? Because it's not letting me share.
Whoops. Stop share. Hang on a second. Let me. It says you're supposed to be able to share, so maybe it's.
Can you see this?
I can't. Go ahead and just spin the wheel, and then figure it out for next time.
Okay. I'll record it though, so people can see. Okay. So I'm going to hit it. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening. So, but it's spinning, and I can send this to you. But Rhonda.
Okay, Rhonda, congratulations.
And Hannah, you also won too, but I'll send it to you. So it stopped on Hannah, but I already said Rhonda. So Hannah, I'll send you a set.
Okay, Rhonda and Hannah, talk to the person who sent you, and send them your address and full name, and we will get a sample pack of patches out to you guys. So thank you for all coming. Again, reach out to any of us if you have any questions. I'm going to put my phone number down in the chat in case anybody wants to reach out to me, and I can send you the recording if you wanted to text me. I'll be more than happy to send you the recording. Okay. Any last questions, you guys? Okay, thank you all for coming. I appreciate your time. Thanks for all the great input. Thank you, Dr. Shar, for weighing in on everything. And you guys have a wonderful night. We'll look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye-bye.